I didn't expect to be saying this at this point of this series, but there's a Serie A club chasing one of our players. Hello and welcome to part 14 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're going to be playing FC United and Gainsborough. But that's not even the most interesting thing that's happening. Results have been mixed. Not even the most interesting thing that's been happening. We're still in with a shout for the playoffs as we approach the end of the season. Not even the most interesting thing that's happening, because the really weird thing that's happening is Ercolani. Let's just search for all the media reports to do with him at the moment. Is that how you spell his name? So, Luca Ercolani, who is our centre-back, 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, but obviously Conference North 5-star potential, we assume. But that might not be the case, because in the last few days, all of a sudden, we've been getting linked to Udinese, as in Udinese, who are 10th in Serie A, the 10th best team in Italy. Udinese, a professional club, a proper football team, are scouting Luca Ercolani. If you don't believe me, let's have a look. See who wants him. Wanted by Udinese. And we're getting linked to him in the media. I don't understand. I'm excited, but also worried, because he's only worth 12 grand. What on earth do I do if they come in and offer me £100,000 for this player? I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. He's got a £70,000 release clause for clubs in domestic clubs in a higher division, which obviously doesn't include Udinese. So if it was West Brom coming in for him, he'd go for 70 grand. I've tried to offer him a new contract. He's not having any of it. He's fully aware he's off to play in Serie A. And as an Italian, he's probably quite keen to end up there. But, should we be thinking in terms of, we might get 25 grand and that'd be amazing at this level? Or we could get 5 million. I genuinely don't understand, or I've never experienced this before at this level. I've never had a top division team from a major league want one of my players when I've still been in the Conference North. And I'm eager to see how this develops. In other news, we have had our youth intake through for this year. Why have we got 25-year-olds down in the youths? It's because they're available for the youth team. But if we have a look at our 15-year-olds, the new breed that have come through, there's a couple of decent players. The real standout one is Sean Spear, who is an attacking midfielder who can also play on either wing. And he is another one of these players who is getting renamed as a result of my Patreon. If you're not aware from the Non-League to Legends series, if you're on my Patreon for more than $20 a month or more, you get to pick a regen to be renamed after you eventually when one comes through. So this one is going to be Shady Saint, who is going to take over as whatever that guy's name was before. We'll keep an eye on him and track him throughout his career. The other guy who looks like he might be quite good is Kenny Ruddy. But he hasn't got a Patreon attached to him because I thought, 3.5 star, he's probably never going to make it. But he might make the odd appearance here and there. And if he does, that's where he came from. In the interests of giving you news on players as well, why is Ercolani unavailable? Oh, because I'm looking at it through the under-18s. I was panicking for a minute there. Adam Lewis, who's been virtually an ever-present for us all season, has just done his cruciate ligaments. He's going to be out for up to a year. His contract expires in 3 months' time. If we get promoted, he probably won't be renewed. If we stay in this division, I might renew him, but we'll have to massively reduce his wages. We can't be spending that amount on a guy who's not going to play for a year. We have to be quite brutal about it at this level, but it is a real shame to see him out injured. Ercolani still just wanted by Udinese. It's bizarre. I don't understand it. So anyway, we're playing against FC United, and this is the team that we're going to put out there to do just that. We've got Linus in goal, a back three of Clark, Ercolani and Jones, with Waters and Elliott as our wing-backs, Wheatley and George in midfield, and Nicholson in behind Rocker and Chambers. We do have a very settled look to this team now. We know how we want to play. Generally, it seems to work quite well. We've got a very, very solid back three. Decent wing-backs, although obviously without Lewis, Waters is going to have to come back in. He hasn't played very much this season, but has been on loan here since early on in last season. So he's been around the club for a little while. Should be able to slot into that left wing-back position adequately. Our midfield is top quality, and we've got loads of goals up front. So I think this probably should be our season where we can fight our way through these playoffs. But before we start worrying about that, we obviously have to make sure that we end up in them. And things are starting to get very, very tight. As we move into the final 6 games of the season, there's only, 5 points separating 5th place from 10th place. So There's certainly no guarantees at the moment that we're going to make it into the playoffs. And if we do hit a little bit of a dodgy run of form, even if it's just like for 2 or 3 games, we could very easily find ourselves with an awful lot to do to secure one of those final playoff spots. On the flip side of that, if we won 3 or 4 games in a row, we could find ourselves fairly secure up in second place. Nobody's catching Kidderminster, but second place in the league would secure us a nice little playoff spot, takes us out of having to worry about that first round of playoffs and gives us the easiest tie going into the playoffs. So it would be nice if we could finish as high up the league as possible. Nicholson's just put us 1-0 up. I think he's very, very lucky with the deflection there, but because he's Jordan Nicholson, he makes his own luck. Tick that off on your cliche bingo. Makes his own luck because he puts himself in the opportunities for luck to occur. Has a shot from the edge of the area. It does take a big deflection, but there aren't many players at this level who have that shot from there and at least get it vaguely on target. So the fact that he does it means he earned the deflection. We earned the goal. We're 1-0 up. We're now up to 4th in the league as it stands, just 2 points behind York, who are in second. So that's what we were saying before about wanting to try and catch the teams above us. I don't want to be going into these final 6 games looking over our shoulder, worrying about what's going on behind us. I want our focus to be, right, let's go finish second, not let's try and finish in the top 7. It's just a mindset thing. It's all about mindset. Let's motivate the lads. We're trying to, I mean, really, if we hadn't have started the season as slowly as we did, I'd like to think the form we've been in for the last 25 games probably, we'd be challenging Kidderminster for the title. And I think if we don't go up this year and we manage to keep this team together or sell Kalani for big money and build an even better team, but I think we should be able to get an automatic promotion next year if we don't make it up this year. But it would be nice to short circuit the process a little bit and make our way in. I think we're ready. I think this squad could survive in the Conference National. So I think we're ready, but we just need to navigate these last few games of the season and those pesky playoffs first to prove to everyone else that we're ready, because apparently me just deciding we can play in the division above isn't enough to get us moved up there. Bring back the days of elections to get into different divisions, because I think if we could go along to the selection committee or whatever they would have been called and said, look, we've got a lad here who a Serie A club are after, we've got a superstar in the shape of Jordan Nicholson, look at the quality of our players, we deserve to be in the division above, look at our infrastructure, look at our wage budget, then I don't think we'd have a problem. But it's because we've got to win these pesky football matches, which, quite frankly, I think it's a ridiculous system. We should just get moved up on merit, as in merit of we're ready to do it, not merit of winning football matches. The world's gone mad. Right, 20 minutes to go. We've just made a whole bunch of changes just to try and keep things freshened up. I am worried that we're only 1-0 ahead because it means any moment we could just have a rush of blood to the head and concede a goal. And in fact, looking at the stats, we are mugging FC United at the moment. Ashley Chambers is in and should have scored. I don't know if there you go. That was our first clear-cut chance of the game. They've already had 2. We have a half chance, which I believe is the one we scored from. But by Kev's law, we are currently mugging FC United. And we're better than that. We shouldn't be mugging teams. But, you know, I'll take anything at this stage. I just don't care. Why is Jones taking a corner? It was a good corner, but he's one of our centre-backs. He shouldn't be taking corners. That's just silly. Right, we've got 2 minutes left. We're past the 90th minute. We just need to not do anything stupid. Nicholson to Wheatley. Look at all this space we're finding ourselves in. Rocker, back to Salmons. We're passing the ball around really nicely, taking advantage of this little triangle that we form in our midfield. And there's a big... I mean, I hope Udinese weren't watching that. That was awful from Kalani. But then I guess they're not trying to sign him to be a ball-playing defender. What did he just do, though? He should have been chasing that back, unless we're claiming he read the game so well that he knew he didn't have to run. Conserve energy. Linus has got this covered. Right, Yorson back to goal and he loses out, and this is where Kalani needs to show that he's worth a place in the... Kenny Clark's going to prove it, but the tackle falls to one of their players and it ends up in the top corner. And we said it could come. Being only 1-0 up, this could come. Pesky late goals in FM18 are doing my head in. Except for when we score them. When we score them, I'm quite happy about it. I'm so upset about it. You can hear I'm losing my voice. This is awful. Where's my bottle of water? It's all going wrong. We won yet? Are they attacking again? Kalani makes a challenge, then loses out on the ball. We could have lost this game because of sloppy defending right at the death, and we now find ourselves down in 6th place, 5 points off of York. All those plans we had in place, ruined. Right, we're making a change for the Gainsborough game. We're bringing Yorson in for Rocker. Rocker's gone off the boil a little bit recently. Yorson was scoring goals for us when we were playing him previously, but I've kind of fallen back into the habit in between videos of I'll play Rocker and Chambers. They're my first choice, and it was generally going okay, but not so much in that last match. But Ashley Chambers has just scored after 30 seconds. Are we having an Ashley Chambers goal day? I love it when we have an Ashley Chambers goal day. So it's a ball forward from Jones. Chambers finds himself in acres of space. I don't know why they've let him get into that position, and just hits it really hard. We go 1-0 up. Oh, please let it be one of these days, because I'll end this episode in a much more positive mood if we can find ourselves back up in 4th place, although we're back down to 5th now. At least if we're back inside the traditional playoffs. But what we really, really want, and I mean, I know goal is getting to the playoffs. That's the most important thing. But what we really, really want, if we could pick our run of form in this last few games, we want to get into 2nd or 3rd, so we avoid that first round of the playoffs. That's the extra special important thing that we want to try and achieve, and we're not going to do that by having ghosts of non-league to legends past scoring goals against us. I'm losing my voice as well, and I don't know why this is happening. I've already recorded 4 videos this morning and didn't lose my voice, but it's going. My voice is really, really going. Am I poorly? Or is this finally that 24-hour stream that I did a week ago now catching up on me? Oh, dear. Right, my voice has recovered again for a minute. I can't believe Nathan Jarman did that to me. I thought we were friends. He's pretty much the only player I recognise from that Gainsborough team. I'm just trying to have a look. Is there anyone else there that we would know? I know we're now towards the end of our 2nd season. But even so, in 2 or 3 seasons, they've had some serious turnover there. But I guess they did keep the right one. Nathan Jarman is the superstar up at Gainsborough, as we all remember from last year. And Chambers, that was just awful. And now Jarman's going to get his 2nd. It was supposed to be an Ashley Chambers goal day. It looks like it's actually going to be a Nathan Jarman goal day, which was this time last year, would have made me very happy. This time this year, not so much. Because we've gone from, yay, let's go and try and finish 2nd. I mean, I'm not even talking over the course of the episode. Over the course of this match, we've gone from, yeah, let's finish 2nd or 3rd. That's what we really, really want. To, right, we've got 1 point from 2 games. I'm now genuinely a little bit concerned again that we might miss out on the playoffs for the 2nd year running. What are we going to do if we can't even get into the top 7 to end up in the playoffs? With this squad of players, we've got players who have dropped down from higher divisions to come and play for us, because we can pay more money than anyone else in this division, probably with the exception of Kidderminster. I imagine we have the 2nd biggest budget in the division. But then we've also got players who are wanted by a big player, who's wanted by a big club. Any team in this division who's got a player that Udinese want, they should be the best team in the division. Chambers is in and scores. So it's a Chambers and Jarman goal off. That's what we're getting today. That's fine, because I think, and I may regret saying this in 5 minutes' time, I think Ashley Chambers is a better forward than Nathan Jarman. And now he's got most of this 2nd half to prove it by outscoring Jarman. Yorson's sat there as well. Nicholson is around. These are all players who haven't really turned up yet on today's episode. Jordan Nicholson, I know I was waxing lyrical about him in the first match, but it was pretty much all he did, score a deflected goal. And we expect better from him. We're paying him a lot of money. We're paying him, I can't remember if he's just over £1,000 a week or just below £1,000 a week. But, that's over £50,000 a year to play in the Conference North. I expect him to be the best player on the pitch in every game he plays if we're giving him that kind of money. Yorson has just scored the weirdest goal you will ever see. Okay, it's not the weirdest goal you'll ever see. I've played this game before, but it's really weird that their goalkeeper just didn't move for it. So Chambers plays the ball forward. It's a bit of a nothing ball, really. Yorson makes a little bit more of it than perhaps he should have done by creating the chance, but it's a really tame shot straight at the keeper. I can only assume the keeper didn't consider for a second that Yorson was going to have a shot when he did, and he's just caught him off guard with a weird, weak early shot that he's then not saved. Trotman's in behind. I don't know why he's there. He hits the post when perhaps he should have squared it to, I think it was Yorson who was in the middle waiting to tuck it away himself, and hopefully we don't regret Trotman trying to take all the glory for himself, Because if we do, we'll just take him off and bring Tom Elliott on at right wing back, because I don't really know who our best right wing back is. Elliott and Trotman are both very, very good. Elliott probably would argue that he should be playing in central midfield, but we only have 2 spots there, and we've got a lot of talent in central midfield, so he's going to get more game time out at right back. Salmons can come on there, and we will bring Elliott on there, and that will do for now. In fact, let's just bring Diane on for Kenny Clark. We'll leave Rocker on the bench today. There you go. That can be a vote of confidence for this front two. And to be fair, their ratings are pretty decent, 8.8 and 8.3, matched only by the ratings of the front two that Gainsborough have got. But Nathan Jarman's gone off injured. I apologise. I've clapped into this microphone twice in this episode, and if you're wearing headphones, I'm very sorry. But that was very important. Jarman going off injured will hopefully mean that we can hold on. Elliott with the throw, Nicholson to George, to, I don't even know who's got the ball now. Nicholson, Elliott again, George again, Elliott again. Cross comes in, there's no one there. Diane nods it down from the clearance, and we have won the match. We made a bit of a meal of it. Gainsborough are down in a relegation fight, but importantly, we did pick up the win. I think we are back up to 5th. And with a plan, 4th place. There you go. We've got York City in our sights now. We want top 3. Top 3 means we don't have to worry about the first round of the playoffs. And that could be crucial because it gives us that extra little bit of rest time. So we're going to play these next few games offline. And then when we're back, it's going to be with York. That's basically a playoff for the playoffs, playing against York. And then we'll finish off the season and see where we end up from there. Surely we can't miss out on the playoffs now. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager content. And thank you very much for watching.